Today I have for you Hebrews 7:7, promises of God. And without question, the person who has the power to give a blessing is greater than the one who is blessed. The priest who collect tithes of men who die, so Melchizedek is greater than they are, because we are told that he lives on. In addition, we might even say that these Levites, the ones who collect the tithe, paid a tithe to Melchizedek when their ancestor Abraham paid a tithe to him. For although Levi wasn't born yet, the seed of which he came was in Abraham's body when Melchizedek collected the tithe from him. Jesus, a priest in the line of Melchizedek. So the priesthood of Levi, on which the law was based, could have achieved the perfection God intended. Why did God need to establish a different priesthood with a priest in the order of Melchizedek instead of the order of Levi and Aaron? And if the priesthood is changed, the law must also be changed to permit it, for the priest we are talking about belongs to a different tribe. Those members have never served at the altar as priests. What I mean is, our Lord came from the tribe of Judah, and Moses never mentioned priests coming from that tribe. This change is made very clear since a different priest, who is like Melchizedek, has appeared. Jesus became a priest not by meeting the physical requirement of belonging to the tribe of Levi, but by the power of a life that cannot be destroyed. And the psalmist pointed this out when he prophesied, "You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek." Yes, the old requirement about the priesthood was set aside because it was weak and useless, for the law never made anything perfect, but now we have confidence in a better hope through which we draw near to God. This new system was established with solemn oath. Aaron's descendants became priests without such an oath. But there was an oath regarding Jesus, for God said to him, "The Lord has taken an oath and will not break his vow. You are a priest forever." Because of this oath, Jesus is the one who guarantees this better covenant with God. There were many priests under the old system, for death prevented them from remaining in office. But because Jesus lives forever, his priesthood lasts forever. Therefore, he is able once and forever to save those who come to God through him. He lives forever to intercede with God on their behalf. He is the kind of high priest we need because he is holy and blameless, unstained by sin. He has been set apart from sinners and has been given the highest place of honor in heaven. Unlike those other high priests, he does not need to offer sacrifices every day. They did this for their own sins first and then for the sins of the people. But Jesus did this once for all when he offered himself as the sacrifice for the people's sins. The law appointed high priests who were limited by human weakness. But after the law was given, God appointed his son with an oath, and his son has been made pure, the perfect high priest forever. Christ's new covenant offering, the superior ministry of our high priest. Here is the main point. We have a high priest who sat down in the place of honor beside the throne of the majestic God in heaven. There he ministers in the heavenly tabernacle, the true place of worship that was built by the Lord and not by human hands. And since every high priest is required to offer gifts and sacrifices, our high priest must make an offering too. Endurance. Hebrews was written for people who were experiencing great difficulties because of their Christian commitment, and they needed endurance, the ability to bear patiently under difficult circumstances. Life is not easy under the best of circumstances, and commitment to Christ in a hostile world brings its own share of suffering. The recipients of Hebrews had experienced and were currently experiencing harassment, loss of property, and imprisonment. Thus, they needed to hold firmly to what they believed without wavering, and to endure while anticipating the fulfillment of God's promises. Like runners in a race, they needed to stay on the path of obedience like true children of a loving Father. They were to receive the Lord's discipline in order to grow in holiness. Endurance in following Jesus is needed for effective ministry, to face hardship, and for growth towards maturity. God has shown, God shown his compassion to those who endure. God shows his compassion to those who endure. So let this be known to all, for all who are being persecuted in the name of Christ, for all who are doing good works, for all who don't give up and refuse to agree with evil. Stay strong, for the Lord is with you. He strengthens you, and he will give you peace. Thank you for listening. That was it for today. May you all have a blessed day. God be with you.